Welcome back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about the Disney presentation at CinemaCon. Now, if you don't know what CinemaCon is, boop, there you go. That's your explanation of what CinemaCon is. I must also preface this, I have not gone to CinemaCon, I am not there. I am mainly getting this information from sources like, Variety and discussing film and offering my opinion on a lot of these. Now let's get on to what was shown and what was announced. The first thing apparently they showed was a behind-the-scenes look at Fede Alvarez's Alien film. Now this is very interesting because the Alien movies haven't really been taking off as of recently, or at the very least, Alien Covenant just bombed horribly and people were kind of on it. So it is going to be very interesting to see them taking on Alien once more with this film, especially since there's also supposed to be like an FX Hulu series based on Alien. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm really wanting to see what Disney does with Alien. What they did with Predator, with Prey, I thought was spectacular. Then we get into Wish, a movie I'm not really all that excited for because it just sounds so generic, or at the very least, I don't know, something about the whole wishing thing, where it's a movie about wishes that come true. It just feels so like corporate Disney stuff, which I know it's really weird to say, but it's like, I just find it weird that on Disney's 100th anniversary, that's when they're coming out with Wish. It sounds really freaking corny. I really am not excited for this. I'm willing to be proven wrong. There's also this really weird question on what the animation will be like, because it looks like they're trying to emulate the CG, hand-drawn hybrid style that Spider-Verse and the Mitchells vs. the Machines did, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be more like What If, but unlike What If, where you can excuse it because it's a TV series, this is a movie. So we'll have to see how this goes. But regardless, we have some new information on this film. For example, Chris Pine is voicing this character called King Magnifico. And the first footage was apparently shown, which included a full song titled So I Made This Wish from Ariana DeBose's character, until a blue bubble appears over a town where she sees what each person wants to wish for. God, I really hate this idea for a movie. Wishes that come true. Then we get into The Little Mermaid, which is getting pretty close to its release, and apparently they actually showed a clip of the Poor Unfortunate Souls scene. I'm really excited to see her take on Poor Unfortunate Souls. Now, I've actually been very optimistic about this film. A lot of people are complaining, why does Flounder look like a fish? Why does Sebastian look like a crab? I don't know, because Sebastian is a crab and Flounder is a fish. Beats me why they would look like those things. What's the point in doing a live action adaptation if you're not going to make things look live action? I don't get that. If they made Sebastian look like he did in the cartoon, he would look really weird and uncanny. You're never going to satisfy people. They're always going to find something to complain about. They also showed a new look at the Haunted Mansion at CinemaCon. According to Discussing Film, it promises that the film will have a bunch of cameos, which already red flag. I'm worried they're going to be using cameos as an excuse to have a shitty story. And speaking of pessimism, Disney showed 20 minutes of Pixar's Elemental. Why am I saying that this is pessimistic? Well, because I'm not looking forward to this film either. This looks like a very bare bones kind of life lesson, which, I mean, it's a good life lesson. When you hear in the trailer where it's like, elements aren't supposed to mix. Oh no, this movie is gonna feel like a Darman video. And they also showed a first teaser of A Haunting in Venice, which they did release online. It looks pretty interesting. Granted, I have seen Murder on the Orient Express. I liked that one quite a bit. I just refused to watch Death on the Nile because there were so many problematic people in that movie. Like, you had Letitia Wright, who is anti-vax and probably transphobic. You have Russell Brand, who's anti-vax and a big conspiracy theorist on YouTube. You had Armie Hammer, and already he's a big problem now. I was just like, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm not gonna watch this one. And so with A Haunting in Venice, I don't think there's any problematic people here, I'm hoping. It looks like a pretty big departure from the other Kenneth Branagh mystery movies, although I'm pretty sure there's not really going to be anything supernatural. It's probably just going to have a explanation that involves like this whole mystery, and maybe there actually is someone pulling the strings. So I'm willing to bet that's happening. They also showed a trailer for Taika Waititi's next film, Next Goal Wins. Again, it's not been released online. Oh, would you look at that? It's Future Christian here. Apparently, as I was editing this, they did release the trailer for Next Goal Wins online, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty funny. I don't know about its Oscar chances, to be fair. I mean, I don't know what this film specifically would be having in it for it to be, you know, an Oscar contender. Like, it just seems to be like a sports comedy, but you never really know. Maybe this could be a awards contender. Maybe it might not be. Although I gotta say, I love the fact that the movie says from Taika Waititi, who lost an Academy Award for Jojo Rabbit for Best Picture and lost the Teen Choice Award for Thor Ragnarok. Like, this stuff I think is really funny, but overall, it's a very charming little trailer. It's really cute. On with the rest of the video. And this one really excites me. It says that the first footage from the creator at CinemaCon reveals a massive epic return for Gareth Edwards, who directed movies like Monster, Godzilla, and Rogue One, as John David Washington battles and protects a child during an apocalyptic war between humans and AI. Although, another thing that Discussing Film pointed out, the movie is also about the romance between human and AI. I'm really looking forward to this film because I'm a big fan of Gareth Edwards. I thought Godzilla was like a masterclass in how to do a Godzilla movie, and I really liked Rogue One, even though granted a lot of that was taken over by Tony Gilroy. And I didn't even know this movie was coming out, because if I had known this movie was coming out this year, when I did my, you know, film drunk Oscar predictions video where we were talking about like the possibilities for best visual effects, like I would have had this jumped straight up to the top 10, because Gareth Edwards doesn't really miss when it comes to at least getting in the shortlist. At least when it comes to like his major films once he became like a well-known name. Like with Godzilla, that got shortlisted for visual effects despite getting nominated for like no visual effects awards anywhere. Not even any Visual Effects Society awards, which was very strange. And with Rogue One, I mean, it's a Star Wars movie, so obviously it was going to get nominated for visual effects. Gareth Edwards just has a really good eye for visual effects, and now I am looking straight at this film when predicting visual effects for the Oscars next year, because this could definitely end up shortlisted. Maybe a nomination, but I have to actually see a trailer to actually say that. But just the name Gareth Edwards alone, I think it means it'll make it to the shortlist. And right as I'm recording this, the Disney panel has ended, and they are currently showing The Boogeyman, which I'm really looking forward to. The Boogeyman looks like a very interesting kind of film. But now I want to hear what you have to say about this. What do you think of the Disney panel and presentation at CinemaCon? And if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, I might just turn into an AI overlord.